Joy, we are resuming our last session. So this code is exactly same like we have seen inside the PDF file talking about looping through an array, right? So the purpose of this code is to search for a needle. So normally when we are searching something inside the array, we say that we are searching a needle inside a stack. Okay, but I can name the parameter here as anything else. Okay, so I consider the needle as the input that comes from the user, or the new name that I need to add. Okay, I made a simple function, but it still can be, we still can run it using the normal code here without even using a function. But I'm just trying to organize things here so that I'm able to explain to you more faster. So the code here exactly the same like what we have seen. Okay, so if we don't find what we are searching for inside the array, then we will start to append. Okay, but if we run the code, so see, the new name is LAN. So you see the new name. Now I call the test array using while. I will pass two parameters, names, which is this array, and the new name. The new name is called LAN, but actually inside the array there is another name that's called LAN. So by right, if the code works correctly, it should not add the new name again, right? Because if the code works correctly, it only adds if there is the new name is not inside the array. Is this clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, should we run? So you see, I want to show you here. Actually, the code, the LAN word is actually appended to the array. So there is two names called LAN added to the array, which is wrong. So this code does not work. Okay. So actually, why it does not work? Okay, because I mean, let me, before I explain to you why it doesn't work, I want you to think with me. The first time we run the array, so this is array, right? This is array, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first time we run the array, the index will be 0, right? So here is 0, right? So when x equals 0, this will be used in the comparison here. So x start with 0 here. Can you see it? X equals 0. The first time we run the for loop is 0 less than, I think the array was 4. So 0 less than 4. Okay, and the added flag is equal false, so we will run. So when x equals 0, we put here 0. So what is the first element inside the array when x equals 0? Here, what is the first element? Can you see?
Joe.
So Joe equal okay, the needle here we say we want to put LAN. So is Joe equal LAN or not?
No.
Okay, so it means that this one will not run, right?
Yeah.
So it will come to the else here, right?
Yes.
So it will do what?
It will add LAN into
the end of the array, like it done here.
Yeah.
But this is wrong. You know why? Because before we take a decision that something is not inside the array, we need to loop through the whole array first. We cannot decide based on the if the first element is not lan, then we decide, we make a fast decision that we want to input lan at the end of the array. We should first go through the whole array. Only if lan is not in the whole array, then we take a decision to append lan at the end of the array. So now you're only checking once only. You're only checking here only, but this is wrong.
Okay.
So the correct way is, so that's why I show you, I wanted to show you by practice, when we run the code, it will add lan at the end. Okay, it means that the code is flawed, is not correct. So how we do it? So the correct way to do that is to use a for loop. Okay, so okay, I want to show you the for loop. It's just a simple for loop. What we say is we define a function, search array using for. Okay, we pass the names array to this function. Okay, and we loop through the array. We said we created a flag called false, and then x in the range of length of array, x will start from 0, right? And then what we say is, if x equal needle here is called lan, right? This is what we are searching for. So we will go through the whole array. Only if we find lan inside the array, we make found equal true, and then we return found. So if we find, can do you follow up with me, Joy?
Yeah.
Okay. As we said, if ever we find lan inside the array, then found will be true. So we will return true from that function. Okay. So if we find lan, we return true. If we don't find lan, we return false, because we start with found equal false. Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need me to elaborate more on this?
No.
Really, it's important. We are building up your knowledge. So I can put I can print a print. I can make a print statement that can explain to you what is happening when the loop is running. It can make you see with the eyes. So it's easy. You want me to add a for loop and see what is happening inside the array when we are doing this function?
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Yes. So yeah. So here we put print. Okay, what we want to see, we want to look here. What is inside this? Okay, and inside here, we want to say another print. Found needle, or we say found lan in position or index x. Okay, and we say here x equal, and we put the print the value of x. Okay, and then we want to run, we don't want to run the one with the while loop, we want to run with test array search. Let me see. Okay, 214. missing two requirements. Okay, we pass it the array. Yeah, we pass this. So can you look at the output here? So that is output when we run with the for loop. As we said, our array having from Joe until Lan at the end, right? It's 4 elements. Joe, Kong, Lee, Lan, right? So at the first, when x equals 0, we get Joe, right? And then when x equals 1, we have Kong, right? So, but he's telling me here, found Lan in index 3. You see that?
Yeah.
So in index 3 here, he found Lan. He found it, and then he print Lan was found in the array. So where is that? So I called, I think, I don't want to confuse you. Wait. So this is my function. It's called search array using for. And where is this function? Here. This is a function. This is where I put the print statement. I put here one print. Okay, and this is a for loop. I am passing the array. I am passing what I'm searching for here. Is it clear to you what this function is doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what this line is doing? Can you think with me, please? Did you notice first? Did you notice that this function returns something?
Yeah.
Okay, it returns what? It returns a string, it returns an integer, or it returns a boolean with true and false?
True and false.
True and false, okay. So when it will return true and when it will return false?
It will be false when the array is.
Okay, look at the array. Look here at the code again. So that's the code. So it will return what here?
Oh.
Okay. So when found will be false and when it will be true?
It will be true when it's in they found in the list. It will be false when they haven't found in the list.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So what this line of code is doing? So this is exactly okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If the new name is not in the array.
If yes, okay. So if we found it in the array, so what we will do?
They'll print the new name was found in the array.
If it is true or false, we will print.
If it's true.
And if it is false?
If it's false, it will add the name into the array.
Okay. So, okay, perfect. So when I print array here, can you see on this line?
Yeah.
After the print statement that Lan was found in the array, see, Lan was found in the array here. Okay.
Yeah.
So after that, I print the whole array. Now Lan was correctly added. But if I use the while code that we saw, actually that will not work, because he will add without checking the whole array. He will only check the first element of the array, and based on that, he will take a decision to add the new name to the end of the array. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
So Joe, Joy, I want you to notice something. If you don't revise what we are taking, you will forget. Programming needs practice. So I will try to increase. I want you to score. We have a chance. We have a chance to get you a good score in Python and Pseudo code. Believe me, the amount of theoretical part in the exam is quite minimum. So we are able, if we do work hard during the coming months, I'm able to put you in a very high level on the pseudocode and the Python. And only with little effort that you put on the theoretical part, you're able to get a high score. But only if you do like this. If you, after our lesson, after I share with you the resources, after I share with you the files, please have a look at what we have done and then solve the exercise. Okay? Okay, good. So we'll continue. Okay. Okay, so we agreed that this code is flowed and then we should replace it with a for loop. Okay, agreed? We move to the next. Okay, so this is a practice question. So you have an array of numbers and we want to reverse the order of the array. So what does this mean? So I want to bring this. So this array start with 86, right? And it end up with 10. I want to move 10 to the front and I want to bring 86 to the end. Okay. So can we look how this is implemented? So he's using a for loop here, and it's a good way that he's doing it here. And yeah, so you see he have a for loop. So he have two arrays. He defined two arrays. The original array, okay, and there is a new array that is empty with the same number of elements. He have here 6, and also he created the new array, empty array with 6. Okay, so he want to put inside the new array whatever inside here, but reversed. So instead of putting 10 here, he put it at the end. Do you understand? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. Now inside the for loop, if you have a look here inside the for loop, so we start with a normal index, okay? And normally a range of 6 because the array is 6. Suppose here write length of numbers, but never mind. So an index start with 0. So when index is 0 here, he put what? What is this? So numbers is what?
It's the array.
Okay. So what is the value of opposite index?
5.
Okay. Okay. So when index equals 0 for new here, this is new, right? When we are here, opposite, so we get whatever element inside numbers with index 5. So here from 0 to 5, right? So what is inside the index 5?
86.
So we put 86 here.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And then we come here to this line. What we do?
The opposite index change the value to 4 by minusing 1.
Okay, so when it is 4, and then the for loop that we come again to loop through the for loop. So the index is increased to from 0 to become 1. Okay, so at index here 1, we know that opposite index now become 4, right? So inside 1, we want to put from numbers, we get the element at 4. What is inside 4?
75.
So we will put here 75. Is that clear to you what we are doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so after we do that, what is the value of opposite index here?
3.
Okay. And so, and index, so after you finish, you come here again. So index will be incremented to become 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the position 2 here, we will get the value from
3.
3. What is the value in 3?
56.
Okay. And so on until we fill in the whole array. So index will become from start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will end up with 5. Okay. And so by doing so, we will be able to print, we will be able to fill in the new array in the reverse order. Is that clear to you? Do I need to elaborate more, or even try to make it on the compiler, or no need?
No need.
No need. It's clear. Okay. Hopefully we are able to finish these arrays. Okay, ask number from the user and find an average of those number. When the user types 0, then stop asking for number. So, okay. So he used here a while loop, okay? And he asks the user to input something here. So you see, whatever he gets from the user, he converted to float. Float is a decimal number, okay? Even though if you enter an integer, also it's fine. He will add 0 to as a decimal, okay? So he asks the user to input a number, and then, but he give us a condition. If the user doesn't want to enter any more numbers, he will enter 0 here. So if number equals 0, the flag will become false. And if the flag become false, this while loop will end. So the while loop will only run if the flag equal true. He start with the flag equal true. And then only if the user input 0, he will make the flag equal false. Okay? If the user does not input 0, what will happen? So he will say count equal count plus 1. Okay? He will count, okay, the user have input a value. Okay? Because we want to find the average. The average is we want to sum the numbers that the user input and divided by the count of that numbers. Here he counts the numbers, and here he makes he add all the numbers that user input. So sum started with 0, and then count also started with 0. So every time the user input a number here, he will add it here. And then after the user input 0, the loop will exit, and then he will start to calculate the average, and then he will output the average. Is that clear to you, Joe?
Yeah.
Do you need me to try it on the code of the compiler?
No.
Okay. Okay. So a two-dimensional array is a 2D array is a data structure that stores elements in a grid of matrix of rows and columns. It consists of multiple rows and multiple columns where each element is uniquely identified by its row and column values. So we use arrays, 2D arrays, in images, in screens, in game boards. Okay, so this is a 2D arrays. Okay, here is row number 0, row number 1, row number 2. Here is the columns: column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. So that is row number 1. Inside row number 1, this is column. So you consider a 2D array is a group of 1D arrays. 1D arrays is a normal array that we have dealt with so far. So you consider this a group of 1D arrays. Each row is considered 1D array. This is another 1D array. This is another 1D array. So a group of 1D arrays. Okay? Okay, Joy? Joy,
Yeah.
don't sleep.
Sorry?
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So here he created he created an array with 5 rows and 4 columns. So do you recognize why he say 5 rows and 4 columns? So you see here from 0, 1, 2, 3. In total, we have 4 columns.
Yeah.
So here you see this is 1 row.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 2nd row. This is the 3rd row. This is the 4th row. This is the 5th row. And for easiness of understanding, he drew it this way. Okay, and this is row at index 0, then index 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is it clear? Okay, good. Okay, create an array with 3 rows and 6 columns. So that's again. So okay, now you see here 5 rows and 4 columns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you recognize here this is a row?
Yeah.
And you recognize here we have 4 columns. 0,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, we move to the next. Okay, create an array with 3 rows and 6 columns. Yeah, the same. Okay, how to access an individual element inside the array? So in the 1D array, we use a single square bracket, right? But here we cannot do that. We have to use 4 of them, 1 for the row and 1 for the index. First, we decide where is the row, and the second square bracket beside the column index. So we have a look at the next slide. So to be able to go through the normal array, we actually needed one for loop. But if we have a 2D array, we need to use 2 for loops. Okay, we have a look here. Okay, so we need 2 for loops. The first one here to go through the rows, and inside every row we go through the number of columns, and to assign something, so we do it this way. Here we decide the rows, and here is the columns. I think it is worth to try it on the compiler. Is it worth it? Joy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know it's taking too long, and yeah, definitely you already tired from that. But yeah, we are almost approaching the end. So I would say, yeah, it's only a matter of 10 minutes remaining. So we say this way, I make it simple. 0, 0, and then 0, 0. So can you tell me, this is actually this is a 2D array. The array. Can you tell me how many columns, how many rows here?
2 rows and 2 columns.
What about now?
2 rows and 3 columns.
Perfect. So how to make a loop here? So we said we want to use 2 for loops to be able to go through the 2D array, right? So we say column in range. So tell me please what to put here.
For 2.
Okay. Can we always take the safe side and we say len?
Okay. Length 2.
No, we say length of the array. Len is a function that takes an array and then count it for us.
Okay.
And then for the column, we say len, and then we say, and this is slightly new. So for the columns, to get the number of the columns, we set len, but with the square brackets 0.
Okay.
Okay, this is a bit new. This is different. For the rows, we as if we are dealing with a normal 1D array. The normal 1D array, we always use length with the array name only. But with the columns, we use array name with the square bracket 0. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we say here we want to put 1 inside the whole array. So we put row like that. We put column equal 1. And then we try to print the array after this and see if it works. Print, I think we are printing here something wrong. We don't want to print anything with len here. Okay, so we run again. So did you notice, I don't want it to run again here. Let me see, I want to comment that so that it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it's enough like that. Num5, 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 never mind. I just, okay, yeah. Maybe expected in the, why is it not happy with okay, so print Joy, did you notice what I tried to do here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we do like that? So do you know what I'm trying to print here now? So I'm trying to print it 2 times. One time before I assign 1 to it, and another time after I assign 1 to the inside the array. Okay, do you notice the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you see how I'm able to assign elements inside the array, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let us try to see if we can finish something more inside the array here. Can you see with me, Joy?
Yeah.
Okay. So we use nested loops. So this is clear to you. I don't need to input numbers using 3 or 6 because you can get confused easily. But if you know that you can use the function, it's clear to you. You always use it and it will work perfectly. So here, actually, he's creating an array of strings. Okay, 2 rows. He's using 2 rows and 3 columns, right?
Yeah.
Then he's searching the array for a certain name. So that name is Faisal. So Faisal is already there. So if I use 2 for loops, I'm able to loop through the whole array and check if this name is present or not. Is that clear to you? Does this make sense? It's simple, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So actually, there is a short way that is only in Python that you are able to create an empty array of strings and put values inside it using this format. So just a while before, we used to put zeros inside the array, right? But actually, I can, if I want to create 500 elements inside a 1D array, this is the only way to do that. It's just a short form. You multiply here, you want to put 0, you can put 0, and you multiply by 500, it will create a 1D array that is full, is initialized with 0 elements inside. 0 elements means all of the elements, all of the 500 elements will be zeros. Okay?
Okay.
And the same you can do with the 2D arrays. So here, but of course, a slightly different format. So also using one line, you are able to create 40 columns and 500 rows of empty strings. It's a string array. You initialize it with 40 rows, 40 columns. This is the one responsible for it, and 500 rows. We will discuss this in the next lesson. We will try it and we will look at it and we will look how we can change it. Okay. So now, we have less than 2 minutes, 1 minute and a half. Do you have any question for me?
No, sir.
Okay. So far, so good.